welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for taking time again out of your day, whether it was at the beginning, middle, or the end, and coming here and checking out my page for content. I'm really appreciative of you, and I just wanted to say thank you. I hope everybody is doing okay. So it's been a minute since I posted. It's because I've had a busy week. I meant to record something and I just kept pushing it back and pushing it back. But I was like, last week we talked about this. We just have to do it. And so here I am late at night recording a video because I'm committed to this thing. Anywho, it's been a busy week. Just trying to get busy with schoolwork. So many deadlines. They just kind of crept up on me. Yeah, so I still kind of have more things to do after this, but I'm getting the work done slowly but surely. There's no more big boards behind me. The construction work they were doing is done. It was super dusty when they finished, so I had a lot of cleaning to do, but all good now. And yeah, just settling in, trying to enjoy the end of spring / beginning of summer under quarantine. But thankfully things are easing up, and I know it looks different at different parts of the world, and yeah, I'm still just hopeful that things will get better. And I've heard different arguments. Oh, actually, maybe I should talk a little bit about that. So, like, with this whole shutdown, lockdown, quarantine thing, I've heard differing opinions on kind of how to approach it from a mental perspective. So some people are like, this is a time to kind of think of new things and have a different approach to life. And then other people are saying, I can't wait for things to get back to normal, to go back to my routine, and to kind of like get back to the swing of things the way they used to be. And I really don't know where I fit in that. I feel like I found myself saying both things at different times. There are some things that I wish stayed the same in my life, and then there are other things that I wish I would do better. For example, I think that the whole break gave me enough perspective and time to think, to make decisions that eventually led me back to the camera. And so I'm really thankful for that. But I've also not been in the lab doing my work, and so I'd really like to get back to that so that I can be done with school. Anywho. So yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, but yeah, just wanted to give a little blurb about that. And then a little tip for the week, or for this video, in terms of not giving up and just being motivated. This week I heard back from another scholarship that I applied for, and I didn't get it. And the reason I'm sharing that as a motivational story, or a motivational point to encourage you to not give up, is it just happened. And because I didn't get one more scholarship, it doesn't mean I shouldn't keep applying, right? And so kind of after I heard back from them, I preached to myself. I was like, hey lady, it hurts, it doesn't feel great, but just get back into it, and you just keep doing it. And really hoping and feeling anticipative. Is that even a word? Anticipating good news. So I'll keep you guys posted if or when it does happen. Okay, to the thing that I wanted to talk about today. Sorry, I wrote it down. That's why I'm looking, just to make sure. Yeah, it's a question that I had that I kind of want to throw to everyone. And the question simply is, should you just accept that there will always be something wrong with people? I wrote this question down, like, I think sometime last week or the week before, because I was just thinking about the state of the world and the state of my own self. and just almost wanting to give up really on just how frustrating it is for everybody in the world to get stuff right. The case in point that I was thinking about was my home country. So, for those who don't know me, I am Nigerian. So, I'm from Nigeria. If you don't know where Nigeria is, Google it. It's a beautiful country in West Africa. Anywho, so I was just thinking, based on the babble. The thought that came to my mind was as a result of this whole lockdown thing and how it was impacting Nigeria. I love Nigeria, but the truth is our government is not doing the best job at prioritizing its citizens and providing the basic amenities that we need, at least in my opinion. And the older I've gotten, the more I've realized that I do need to be sensitive because I don't know what it feels like to be in a position of power. But in the case of Nigeria, I can pretty much with a 95% certainty say that a lot of the government officials don't care about the citizens. Because for how far we've come, there are certain amenities that I think should just be there that just aren't there. Anywho, because of this, I just got to thinking and then expanding my thought process to everywhere else in the world, including where I currently live now at school. And just thinking how hard it is for everyone to be on the same page, you know? And it got me thinking, like, what's the balance? Like, I think I've gotten to the point where I accept now that by definition, human beings cannot be the same. Like, we can't think the same. We can't process things the same way. We're not robots. We're not computers. But I feel like for us to move forward as a race, we kind of need to be on the same page about just a few things. But that's not the case. Like, the gap between the rich and poor, like the basic necessities that a human being is supposed to have, or something like whether or not people agree that they should stay at home during this pandemic to stop the spread. As some of you may have seen, there are protests and people essentially going ham on the internet and everywhere saying, like, we deserve the right to go out. I don't get it, but in the spirit of trying to I can't even put myself in another person's shoes for this, to be honest, because I'm just like, just sit at home. Just sit at home because you're going to overwhelm the healthcare system. Anyway, I digress. The overarching, as you can see, it was kind of a battle in my mind with, like, why does there exist in the world such a disparity between the ways we think? Like, this is a fundamental difference in thinking, and I guess that's why we have, like, political parties that are advocating for different things, more socialist versus more capitalist political parties or organizations, the way things are set up, the way things are thought out. But I feel like at the heart of humanity, we should at least care for one another. So I'm posing it as a question because during the times I've had conversations like this with my friends, I either get that, like, oh, you're very naive, like, that's not how the world works, or this is, like, obviously this is the way we should go. This is the approach we should take to make the world better. But that's the thing that's different, right? I think we should take this approach, and my friend thinks we should take this approach. And I'm like, no, how does that even make sense to you? And all that confusion just, like, it bothers me a lot. And it sometimes makes me feel hopeless because I'm like, since I was a kid, I've always said, like, oh, I really want to make the world a better place. I really want to make the world a better place. But the older I've gotten and the more familiar I've become with just how hard that is, it's sometimes really difficult to keep hope alive because I'm thinking, how do I even do that? Like, in my country, for example, how do I, little old me, just change my country? Because I really, really desire for my country to be a lot better than it is. But it's like, what do I do? Like, realistically speaking, and like something tangible, like an actionable item. What do I actually do? And I've heard the whole argument of start small, and sometimes I'm just like, no, I don't want to hear that. Like, I want to do something that I know is making a difference. But I think the current conclusion that I've arrived at is to just agree with the wise people who've come before me who say, start small. Just change your immediate environment. Be a good person. Know that you are doing the best that you can. Because sometimes that's just all that you can do. And it's really hard sometimes for me to accept that, because I'm like, I'm trying. But even I myself as a human being, sometimes I make so many mistakes. And like, but even when I try to be nice and good and be disciplined and make good decisions, how much time do I need to keep doing that for me to see the change that I'm hoping to see? And I don't think that that's a question that I can answer or that can be answered. That I think it's something that I have to just wait and see. But yeah, I'm just kind of like thinking out loud. If you guys have thoughts about this, or if you have similar thoughts and these kinds of things go through your mind, you can comment or send me messages or whatever. I like to talk about things like this. I like to process or try to understand like how people see the world and how they're thinking about life and what their experience of life is. So yeah, these are things that interest me. So and I think they're important to think about, right? Because I just can't come into the world and just exist. There has to be more than this. Like, yeah, that's a topic for another day. Anyway, this is kind of like what I was thinking about, and I thought I should blog about it and see what people think. If these kinds of thoughts come to your mind, or if you have an idea that you think, duh, this is what we should do, this is how human beings should think. But I guess if there's one thing that I think if we all did in an ideal setting, the world would be so much better. I think if we truly loved one another, like Jesus said we should, the world will be beautiful. Because a lot of selfish acts, a lot of terrible things that happen as a result of people not caring about one another. People just don't care about one another. We're so selfish. We just look out for our own selves. I'm victim to this as well. Sometimes I forget to think how an action that I'm taking to take care of myself is detrimental to another person. So yeah, I think we all need to do better about just thinking about the other person, and not always like, there's this saying now in our age, like, follow your heart, do what feels right to you. I have a problem with that saying, but I will address that in another video. But I really have a serious problem with the whole follow your heart thing. I think it needs to be definitely qualified. You can't just follow your heart all the time. Otherwise, I feel like that can be very dangerous. Anyway, this is the end of this video. I want to try to make these videos like short. I don't want to do anything over 15 minutes. That's my goal. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, let me know what you think about these videos. And if you have things that you're interested in me talking about, or you want to hear my thoughts on how I process these things, just comment or message me if you know me personally, or just leave it in the comments. Leave comments in the comment below. Oh my Lord, I cannot speak. And I will talk about these issues. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Like this video if you enjoyed watching it. And if you really enjoyed watching it, you should probably share it with someone so that they can have fun watching it too. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and I will be back by the grace of God with another video, hopefully pretty soon. See ya. Bye.